terminal knee extension. Well, in this case, it's like the Peterson step down or Patrick step down, one of those with a banded Spanish squat to terminal knee extension at the top. What's up, everyone? It's Kayvon with Functional Fitness VA, and today we're looking at the kind of tree of terminal knee extension exercises. So, the simplest way, and what I think is possibly the best way, you get a band anchored somewhere safely, a door with a door strap looped around something that's not going to fall over. Around knee height, you put your leg through it so it's right behind your knee. And if you have hairy legs, that could be uncomfortable, but deal with it. So from here, I take the banded foot and I bring it back so that I put my toes kind of in line with the heel of the non-working leg. Now the band's pulling my knee forward, and then I squeeze my quad to extend my knee to get to that terminal knee extension, and that brings my knee back, pulling against the band's resistance. So I have all my weight in my non-working leg, and I just squeeze the quad, pull the knee straight, then let the band pull it out, or resist against the band, or go with the band, whatever you want to call it, but you're moving with the band, and then squeeze to bring it back. So simplest version there. Let me show you on the closer leg. You better look at it. Let me show you this pasty thigh there so you can see that quad squeezing. So I push my heel down to squeeze the quad as I straighten the knee. I like doing it where the heel lifts off the ground and then it comes to the ground as you extend that knee. You can do it with the heel on the ground and it's a smaller range of motion, but as long as you're feeling that lower quad, that vastus medialis, that vastus lateralis, squeezing every time, and by feel I mean you're making it squeeze, then you're doing the job here. We're trying to contract that lower quad every time. So you can then take that into a step down version. Now, we don't want balance to be the big issue here. You can do it where balance is challenged, especially as you get better at it, but we're trying to work the quad. So I can support myself here for a little balance assist with my hand on the bar. And as my knee goes forward, this time I go down. Now, what I want you to see here is I'm squeezing my quad every time I stand back up and straighten it. Don't slam your knee back, right? We're not yanking back on it. We don't want to hyperextend it with all your weight on it. But I do want to squeeze my quad as I get to that terminal knee extension. See the theme here? I'm using my other foot out in front here as a kind of depth marker. If I want to go lower, I just bring that up leg out further. What I'm not doing is hinging, right? This isn't the start of a pistol squat. It's not a single leg deadlift. We're trying to work through that knee extension, so I try to keep my shoulders stacked on top of my heel, or on top of my hip. Now, what you saw just there is I don't want to push off the ground with my non-working leg, so that's why I just touch the heel, not the toes, right? Now, if you are ready for it, you can add a decline. So again, I can plant through my entire foot. I'm not lifting up my heel and trying to balance on my toes. And this puts more pressure forward into the knee and lower quad at the bottom of the range of motion. So now we're getting work, even though with your foot on the ground, you got work at both ends, but even more at both ends of this step down and knee extension. Now, let's say you don't have all this stuff, right? What can you do? Boom, mini band, right? Or you can even do this with one of the booty bands. You guys know what I'm talking about. The slingshots, any of those, but the smaller the band, the better here. So again, right behind my knees, I use my own leg as my anchor. I'd like to lean forward and grab something. That way I can really focus on keeping no weight in my working leg. The band is the resistance. I put my foot behind me, right? And then I straighten my knee, squeeze my quad to pull the band. And this way I'm anchoring it against my front knee. My back leg's still working, or the working leg. It's just like doing it standing. Slightly different, but mostly the same. Now, let's say you don't have any of that, but you got a foam roller. Lay down on the ground, on your stomach. I'm still trying to squeeze my quad as I straighten my leg. I put the front of my ankle across the foam roller here, so it's kind of comfortable resting spot. And you can alternate between one leg and the other, or you can do them straight through on one leg, but I squeeze my quad to straighten my knee. Again, sticking with the theme. Now, get rid of the foam roller. If your toes can tolerate it and you don't have a foam roller, you just tuck your toes, do the same thing. So I have pressure down through my toes here, but I'm still accomplishing the same goal of squeezing my quad to straighten my knee, and I really have to think about it. You got to put your brain into the muscle for this one. So it's a bunch of varieties of the terminal knee extension. Some are not so intense, some are pretty intense, but work them, have fun.